Let me introduce myself. My name is yours truly, Clay, or you can call me Clay. My real name is Clementine. I used to have a YouTube channel and I used to do tarot cards, but I stopped because I didn't want to do it anymore. And now I'm here and I'm making a video again, and I feel like I have developed a lot. I love vintage clothing and you can see me on Instagram wearing that. I will put my Instagram at the end of the video so you can check it out. And I actually am developing film-wise, I'm developing photography-wise, and also I want, as my dream, I want to wear vintage fashion and country fashion and country Lolita and stuff. So that's what I'm actually aiming for right now. But I love film, I love expression, I love characters and caricatures of myself. I would love to express that more. I don't have to say all of these things. Why am I saying all these things? It's okay, no problem. I can always edit this out. So I actually want to start about talking about how I grew up. I grew up with three other siblings. I have an older sister, I have an older brother, and I have a little brother, younger brother. The formation is usually with my younger brother and my mother, because my parents divorced when I was 5 years old, so they weren't together anymore. We were Jehovah's Witness. That's what I actually wanted to talk about. Being a Jehovah's Witness is actually was a interesting experience for me, because I used to live in a different way than other kids did actually. I remember we had to polish our shoes, like my brother and my dad and stuff had to polish their shoes when we were going to the Kingdom Hall. The Kingdom Hall is actually some kind of church. It's not a church, it's just a place where people come together in a community to praise Jehovah and sing songs together, and Jesus, of course. They believe in Jesus as well. So in my experience, look, I'm not here to bring down my parents or anything. I'm not here to bring anybody down, but I'm talking from my own experience, is that I had a lot of stress going there. Usually my parents were very stressed because we had to get everything together, and it was very hard sometimes because not everything worked out. And also, I think none of us actually wanted to go in the end. None of us really wanted to go to the Kingdom Hall. So it's like, it was always stressful. I remember sitting there in Kingdom Hall, I was listening, but I could never really relate to what was being said, because I was very much of the truth when I was little already. And I was like, what you guys are explaining here is not what I'm experiencing in my own life. It's not what I'm experiencing within my own home and what I'm seeing here. Because I remember my parents, not especially one of my parents, never really trusting anybody, also not within the community. So it was confusing and troubling, but I knew that it was not good. So I always kind of pushed it away. It was not really my thing. And from that point on, I started to actually walk my own path more. I have been a Jehovah's Witness. I've been a Jehovah's Witness from birth actually, and until my 15th, and then I started to push it away more. I started to ask questions, and I was not allowed to do that, so I stopped doing that. And I just didn't want to come anymore. I was allowed to do that by my mother. Now I want to go over to 3 do's and 3 don'ts on being a Jehovah's Witness. First thing is, I learned about value. I learned about value in life. What I'm trying to say here is that I have learned to value something, a structure in life. There was a value within the experience as well. I've learned a lot about valuing a system and been living within a system that was valuable to learn in. It was a religious experience, and I've learned so much also as a child, and I'm actually very happy that I could be a part of it. Even though it wasn't for me, I'm happy that I could be a part of it. Second was learning about the truth, knowing what my own truth is. Because right now, I'm at a point in my life where I can actually figure out my own truth. And I knew that back in the day as well. And I could decide there what I wanted, even though I wasn't free. I could decide about what the truth is. And I have been searching more and more for the truth in my life because of this. And it motivated me a lot, this experience. The third do for me is religion, being raised religiously. Being raised religious was actually a very nice experience for me, because I have learned a lot about God. Actually, I've learned a lot about what the Bible is about, and I think that's a very good thing. I think that's something that I really needed to go through, because right now I am believing more in that everything is true, that everything has their own purpose, and every God has their own meaning. So, even though I'm more spiritually aligned in my life right now, I know that also this has taught me something. It still does, actually. 3 don'ts about being a Jehovah's Witness and what I've actually experienced. First point is I am dealing now with social anxiety, very big social anxiety problems that I am still healing now, because I have a hard time dealing with people in general. I don't really know how to deal with people sometimes, and that's a problem. I think that's a problem. But I have severe social anxiety because of this experience. Second of all, I have been abused. I have been mentally abused. I've been emotionally abused. And I have been physically abused as well. Not to bring anybody down, but it has happened. It's really happened. And I want to say that because of needing to be in a certain way, and my parents needed to be in a certain way, they started to use manipulation and physical abuse, actually, to make us do things. And I understand if you have to be in a certain way. Because my parents raised me in a certain way, I always felt different from everybody else. I wasn't celebrating Christmas and birthdays and stuff, and the kids actually found that sad for me. But I always told them that I didn't really feel sad about it, because I didn't know any better, so I wasn't really sad about it. But I was always treated in a different way, because my parents were actually kind of weird in a sense. They were different also from the other adults, so I wasn't really accepted the way I was, because I was a creative, and I still am. I think I will always be a creative, and that's what happened. I think being different was also being alone in my experience, because I hardly had anybody to talk to. I had one girl that was in my class that was also going to the Kingdom Hall. We liked each other, but still I didn't really find a spot to talk to somebody. When I was little, I usually was drawn to adults within my school and talking to them, because they were actually very nice to me. The children didn't understand me, and my parents had a hard time understanding me sometimes. And also my siblings, they were also acting in a certain way. So sometimes I really felt alone. I was just randomly talking. I've always been like that, randomly talking to people, and in this case, adults. If you go into Kingdom Hall, you're actually learning from actually 2 magazines. One is the Watchtower, and you're writing in that, and you're actually answering questions on answers about the religion, about being Jehovah's Witness, and things from the Bible. It's like a Bible study. It's very important within the experience. And also, you got the Awake. It's a magazine that they also hand out if they're like preaching on the street. They hand out the Awake, and you can look into that, and it has very nice topics about the world and about what Jehovah's Witnesses do and stuff. It's actually a very nice magazine. A lot of people that also are not Jehovah's Witness are tending to read this because they're interested in it. So sometimes the people come over and they give someone a Awake, because some people want that are not even Jehovah's Witness. I remember the community coming back actually to me when I was living, I live somewhere else. I don't live in my hometown anymore. And I remember them coming back at my door, and they were like with 10 people, whole family. I told them when they were at my door that I didn't want anything to do with the community anymore. I didn't want to be like a bad person or anything, but I told them that I didn't want to be a part of the community anymore, and I didn't want them to come over anymore because I wasn't interested. I already knew about the community. They never came back. They accepted and respected my experience and what I needed, and they gave me space, and they actually never came back, and I'm okay with that. I want to talk about how I live now actually. About 5 years ago, I went inside a little bit of a more spiritual experience that actually made me want to heal my past, and that's what I'm doing right now, and it actually feels good. Right now I live differently. I live somewhere else. I actually want to move, but I live somewhere else now other than around my family, which I miss them now. I can see them in a different light. They're also pretty aware of what has happened, and what they're doing now is very different from what we learned. And we have always been close. Like all the siblings, we always had each other. And maybe also because we only had each other. The way I live now is, I look more beautiful. I think I look more beautiful. I feel better about myself. I'm more aware of who I am. I was very suppressed back in the day, and I feel very, very ready to change my life and to do the things that I actually want to do. I do pretty much a lot. I'm actually working on being more independent. I don't have a relationship and stuff, so I don't really need that. I started to just, actually, the moment when I started to detach from everything, I also started to find my own path more. So back in the day when I was like 18, I was pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty wild. I was going out every weekend. I was actually, my mom was like, okay, you're 18 now, you can do whatever you want. So you are free now. I wanted to be free for a long time. How am I going to do this? How am I going to be an adult? I don't know. How are you going to be an adult? I don't know. How are you doing it? How are you doing that? Oh, I think I'm having a flashback right here. Oh no. I peeped that up. Thank you for listening at my story. I'm very happy that I can actually make this. My goal was to talk to ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and maybe also find other people that are interested in the religion and the background, and also for ex-Jehovah's Witnesses to feel that they're not alone. And I hope you can speak up about this after seeing this. You can share your story down below here in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this video. Give me feedback, please. I want to know how I did. This is only my first video. I haven't been on YouTube for a long long time. So I hope I can be of service of you guys, because that's exactly what I want to do. That's exactly what I want. I want to be of service for other people, and that's what I'm trying to do. I hope that I can reach people with my story and with my experience, and that you find maybe some clarity and maybe some hope that you are not alone in your experience. Maybe you're still a Jehovah's Witness and you want to get out, you don't know how to do it. Just feel free to ask me questions. Feel free to express yourself. Much love, and I will see you again. Okay, bye bye. Peace.